Hello, and what is up, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, swell, all that type of stuff. Um, yeah, I still haven't installed any lighting, in case you were wondering. I'm still not sold. I probably could just slap down a ferrule. That would probably be the easiest way to go here. But anyways, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. We got more, well, not necessarily more important things to do, but we have other things that we need to get done here. Flex plug is what we're looking to build. Beautiful. Really? I'm out of flux cores now? You gotta be kidding me, mate. All right, there we go. We had enough. We're fine. We're fine. Um, so let's review. First things first, I have $619,000 in this game. A couple of quick notes. We've debated numerous little things. I've debated this. I've gone back and forth time and time again. Acceleration wand, creative solar array, or watch of flowing time. Now, in most cases, like if this was a regular Sky Odyssey playthrough, I'd probably say like Watch of Flowing Time or Wand of Acceleration. But because we don't have EMC, I'm kind of leaning towards the Creative Solar Array. You know, Watch of Flowing Time is amazing. It makes everything around you work faster. But, I don't need it to work faster. I just need it to be more automated. So I'm actually going to buy the Creative Solar Array for us right now. Oh, baby, we got it. We got it. Oh, man, this is crazy. So I got my miners. There's only 4 of them here. And by the way, rip money. It's fine. It's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna come up to the top here, and let's just see. I think what we need to do is we need to go like this. We need to go like that. Beautiful. We need to install the flux plug down below. We're going to select it to my network. This chunk already has a chunk loader. Beautiful. Excellent. Transfer limit disabled. Okay. So I think that this should transfer at whatever we need it to, is what I understand. Now, we'll kind of explore that, and does this kind of negate the whole reactor that I have downstairs? A little bit. And let me tell you why. This guy here, it says that it outputs at 64K FE per tick. It's infinite, stuff like that. But as you can see, we have quickly obtained, what is that? How many commas is that? It's literally infinite amount of power. So even though our coin cost is so extraordinarily high at this point in time, I can slam these all 6 times, like so, and we are blazing with no concerns. We're still gaining an umpteenth amount of power, to say the least. I think we're already at like trillions upon trillions. And the cool thing is as you can see, we had like 116. We've gained 10,000 coins, just like that. Now, don't get me wrong, it probably will get to a point where it'll never really keep up. I did a quick test with this in a creative world, and it just wasn't able to keep up, period, with even full coin miners, not even including this plug on there. But I want to be able to tap into other resources if required. But what I did in another world is I actually did an unlimited power cryothium flux duct right there and added more miners to it. But yeah, it's crazy amounts. I mean, we're going to be very close to our 150 because I still want the everlasting guilty pool before we start Botanium. So very quick, very easy, basically unlimited, amazing power. It's really cheaty. Simple as that. So I'm really happy about my choice. 500 grand, in my opinion, well worth it. And everything's going pretty well at the base here, for the most part. I haven't checked lately. I've been doing a lot of work, and let's review some of that work right now. So up here, I haven't done too much, nothing too crazy. I haven't done anything with the machines, actually. But what I have been working on is our, intersection. As bad as it sounds, that's what this is going to be. So as you can see, I have basically, this is one of the buildings. This is our automation. This is our main, our main hub, all that type of stuff. This is kind of like our garden or, a plaza, for example. So I've kind of divvied this up. We got power and technology. We're going to have EMC stuff over here. So that'll be like energy condensers, you name it. Once we finally dive into those, we're going to have a nature, or magic, I should say. Magic is the one that I want to say. And then we're going to have all of our crop fields and mystical and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm debating between Botania being in the mystical section or the magical section. But either way, both of these things we definitely need to get started on. We haven't even touched any of this, right? For example. So we definitely need to get started on these. We have a lot of seeds to make as well across the board. So we really need a nice farming setup too. And same thing with the EMC side of things. Outside of that Philosopher's Stone, we really haven't touched much of this otherwise. And there is a couple of reasons for that. One of the big reasons, and one of the reasons the pack is still not available at this current time, is there is no way to get an energy condenser, for example. You cannot get a stone transmutation table anywhere in the pack. You cannot get this arcane transmutation tablet anywhere in the pack at this point in time. It will be added in, but as you can see, there's a few stumbling blocks. Now, we could get some matter relays and things like that. There is things that we can do still, and we'll look at doing those, and then hopefully we will get an update soon so that we can kind of keep going on the rest of this as well. So those are some of the little intricate details. I know there's been a lot of questions about when is it coming out, all that type of stuff. I will update you guys as soon as I hear. Okay, simple as that. Other than that, yeah, magic. We need to do our seeds and EMC, right? Pretty straightforward, I think. I think it's pretty straightforward. And in the middle here, as you can see, I've used the, what is this called again? Building guide from Open Blocks to come up with a circle, pretty much, or a cylinder in this case, for my base, just to kind of be laid out. And I set up the pillars accordingly, right? So this is going to be our central area. It's pretty cool. I like it. This took me way too long, by the way. Like, way too long to do. But anyways, that gives us a quick little example of what we can look at doing. Now, the cool thing that I want to do with this is I actually want to raise this up by one. Bloop. There we go. Up by one block. Excellent. And all around this, I actually want to go around. I thought you could, like, click in these. Couldn't you? Maybe you can't. I don't know. I thought you could. But yeah, anyways, I want to go around. So this is 3, that's 2, right? So we can just do it like this anyways. But basically complete the circle at this higher point, okay? This will be good. This is all part of like design and what I plan on doing with this section, okay? So keep that in mind. But this is a nice little guide to keep us on track as well. I'm going to have to double check. I could have sworn that you could place things a little bit easier with this, but that's okay. Boom, boom, and 3, and then we'll be back to there. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to kind of keep working here. I don't know if we'll get this done today. We'll probably jump into another project just because I'm a little bit short on time, but I definitely want to have a raised kind of setup here for this circle, okay? So with a couple of clicks, I was able to just kind of take the cylinder or circle and expand it accordingly, right? So now we have the same general shape and functionality, but expanded out even further, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want. And then for the most part, I'm just going to bring these two together just like so. This is going to create little platforms or little raised areas up in the build. It's going to give it more dimension. It's going to give it more feel, right? You know, there's one thing about just building a flat little thing like that, but as you can see and you can envision in your mind now, you can see a much bigger and more broad spectrum build here, right? And then you have these wonderful little four-way at this point in time to identify exactly where you can go in the build. So I think that's really important, right? Having this depth and detail to your build, direction. You know, there's a lot of things. There's something to be said for organized chaos. You know, there is a lot of chaotic builds that you can definitely do, whereas you start looking at things like an organized garden or, you know, a castle, things along those lines when you look at Minecraft in general. And, you know, even when you think back on how they actually designed those buildings back in the day, everything that they did was for a reason for that time, right? And it all had direction. It all had a purpose, right? So all of this is also going to have that same purpose. But I got to build it. Simple as that. So in the meantime, well, you guys all get to sit there all nice and comfy watching my beautiful video. Thank you so much. Giving it that thumbs up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. Subscribing. Oh, I love it. While you guys are all enjoying all of that beautifulness, I'm going to be building. And I'm going to be building this wonderful beast of a little intersection. After a lot of quartz later, and, you know, I feel like we're pretty structurally sound at this point in time across the board as well. I pinpointed out the center that we have here, and I kind of want to try something. I've never, ever tried this before, so without further ado, we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a go. I am going to try to build a quartz tree. I've never really done a lot with quartz in general. You know, it's not really one of those building blocks that I use all that often, but I think that we could pull off a pretty cool looking tree here. So let's just see what we can do. We'll go like this, we'll go like that, and then maybe we go up with these branches. Yeah, I think that that's okay. And then let's get a couple more stairs here. Good. And do I want that there? No, you know what? Let's go like this. This guy here I'm struggling with. Maybe this is just a small little branch, if you know what I mean. Maybe we can go like this and like this. We'll see what that looks like once we complete it. So then we kind of go up. And let's go like that. Is that a nice little stem? Is that a good size of tree? I guess we can find out, right? Let's give it a try. Let's see what's the worst that happens, right? And then the other thing that I want to grab here is actually some of the slime blocks that we've used in other things and stuff like that. And this is actually going to be like a slime quartz tree. So I'm very curious to see if I can pull this off. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough here, won't we? But yeah, I'm very curious. It's going to be fun, to say the least. It's different. It's going to be different. Let's go like this. Maybe kind of like so. I don't mind seeing some of the branch in between, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, we do have to make sure that we have good amount of foliage up above, right? So this guy will expand out like that. This guy, maybe we can do a little bit more with. Yeah, maybe something like that. Oh, it looks pretty good so far, I think. We can kind of sort of expand up here, make it a little bit bigger. Oh, that's not half bad. That's not half bad at all, to be honest. Not there. There. And you know what? Let's do a little bit on the inside. get some of that extra detail. I feel like that's got to be one there, right? You know, we got stem there, we got stem here. I mean, it's pretty good, right? Like, it's pretty good. The foliage, anyways. We can make that a little bit taller, I guess. You know, I don't like having just it like this, though, so we might need to kind of add a few more here just to kind of build it out a little bit, give it a little bit more. I don't like straight lines. You got to have, like, multiple layers of depth as you go around it, right? So that there's depth in either direction in a couple of different ways. You know what? I'm pretty darn happy with that. First try? Maybe? Maybe? I think it looks pretty good. Now, I'm not sure. Let's try this. You know, I learned this one from a good friend of mine, Mr. Good Times with Scar, and whatnot, where, let's just see, bone meal. Yeah, good. Is that not a thing that you can do? Is that not a thing that you can do? Why isn't that a thing? I want to get some white stained glass. Stained panes. White stained glass panes. You literally have to do it like that? Okay. Okay. Fine. No big deal. White stained glass. Good. Good. We'll do that. And we'll do that. Okay, good. Some white stained planes. And then what I want to do is I want to just make it like little things that are kind of sort of dripping off, right? So, you know, these lower ones, it's pretty easy to kind of find one with the stairs or whatever that could resemble, you know, dripping. What we don't want is we don't want them to attach like that, right? So we want to keep it a little bit more separate. Now, I think it does attach there. It does, okay. But I think that's okay the way we currently have it. That's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It adds a little bit of extra detail overall to this thing, right? I guess we can put one here, right? We got the stair there. We can put one. Oh, no, it breaks into there. That's fine. Who needs silk touch? It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. We got resources for days. But yeah, so it adds a little bit of an effect. I'm not sure if going up really adds anything. I don't think so. I think we're going to kibosh that idea. But just a little bit of extra detail on the tree. I think that this is pretty solid so far. I haven't done too much with this type of thing. So outside of that, so we have this beautiful tree. We have all this and that. I'm going to get some quartz again here. And we need a whole bunch more than that. And we're actually running low on quartz, of all things. But what I want to do is I want to actually build out a nice little area here around the tree as well. Okay, so we got this beautiful tree. We're going to have a nice little area going in and around it and kind of build it out a little bit more. Again, we're looking to provide more depth. If you just have a flat line across all of your builds, all of your stuff, it really doesn't lend much in terms of detail that you can have for your build. So what we were trying to do here is we're trying to expand on it. We're trying to grow the build in both vertically, you know, horizontally, etc. So there's a lot of little details for us to kind of expand upon. But a lot of this is also just kind of free placing of blocks to get the desired effect that we're kind of looking for. Now, I'm probably going to put water in here. So I want to make sure that all the corners are also filled. You know, as you know, with water and stuff like that, sometimes when you place it, it'll read that, you know, there isn't a block beside that, and that can lead to, you know, water kind of looking a little weird in certain spots. So we're going to kind of make this a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger where possible or where needed, and kind of sort of quickly expand on this a little bit. It's not too bad. So far, so good. I think that this is going to work out pretty nice. We might have to do a little bit more, you know, tweaking up here a little bit. I want this to feel almost like a natural quartz pond. As weird as that sounds, right? Like, when did you ever see a natural quartz pond? I know, right? But that's kind of the thought process that I'm going with here is bringing my natural style, my natural build style, and expanding upon it into blocks and materials that I might not normally use. So it's a good way to kind of expand even my own horizons a little bit and make something a little bit cooler, a little bit better, right? Well, maybe. We'll see, right? It might be terrible. There's always that debate. But the cool thing about this is it just adds more detail, more effect overall. By the way, the worst thing has happened. The worst thing. There is currently a mosquito in my computer room, and I don't know where it is. So I'm itchy everywhere. I feel like there's a mosquito on me right now all the time. Isn't that the worst? You know, when you get like a bug or whatever and he's invading your personal space. All right, cool. I like it. I like it. I don't like the mosquito. He is driving me bonkers. All right, we got to clean up, I think, just the tree a little bit here. And yeah, that one's going to be a tougher one to do, I think. It should be pretty straightforward, though. Just kind of filling in a few little gaps. And it almost looks like this quartz root system just kind of keeps expanding out and gets bigger as it goes into the water. Almost like what you would expect like a mangrove tree or something like that would do. And then it sprouts up once it gets above that water range. Okay, cool. Let's grab our Evertide and start filling. I think that this is going to work quite well. Let's find out. Okay. So, this thing drives me a little bit bonkers. Yeah, got to click fast. See, as soon as there's water there, it won't make a difference, right? But that's okay. We can also easily just grab a quick little bucket and explore from there. So, boom, we'll do that. It'll help us move around the water a little bit. Once you got an infinite spot, you're kind of good to go anyways. So, water's not overly complicated. This just in. But yeah, so I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to finish up a couple of things around in this setup. And I don't know why it's doing that little janky movement, by the way. But yeah, I'm going to finish this up, and we'll be back. We can take a look and see where we're at. All right, so one of the other beautiful machines for, doing design work and things like that. Oh, that's full. That's very full. Let's take those. One of the beautiful machines that is out there for design work and things like that is the painting machine from Ender.io. So what I'm currently doing here is I'm actually painting half slabs with the brick texture. At least I hope that's what's happening here. So, yeah, right there. Beautiful. So you're actually getting the half slab brick itself, which is great because that block is not available otherwise. So what we can do is now we can actually go down to our build over here. And, I kind of messed around. I tried like a brick outside like this, but it's just too tall. It looked dumb. But I think with the half slabs, we're actually going to be okay. So with the half slabs now, we can get kind of that brick texture that I enjoy for this as kind of like that outside lining. And we can put it down. And now it's not too big. But it does give you a little bit of depth and barrier between the water and the tree as a nice little focal point. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know about you guys. Feel free to let me know down in the comments, of course. But I like it. I think it's going to be pretty nice to have this nice big intersection. Now, ultimately, the main goal here is to get ourselves, the other areas for us to keep working on more mods, right? But, these are some of the integral steps that, I consider when we start building these things. So, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. The other thing that I got to come up with is what are we going to do for a pathway, right? We've kind of defined, okay, we got this beautiful pond with this slime tree in the middle here, but what are we going to do for a pathway? Because these need to be a pathway. This is an intersection. We need to come up with some sort of a path. So I'm going to have to come up with some sort of a quartz path or something like that. Or, I could even bring like grass into the play if I wanted to here. I don't know what biome we're in. What biome are we in? Where am I at? How are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I'm lost. I never remember where this stuff is. Fancy clouds. Where am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know what biome we're in, so we could try and see what type of grass we get. Grass block, of course, you can make with the essences, which I don't have. But yeah, I do have all at the same time. I still got more stuff to move over to, so don't mind me. Just ignore all this. It's fine. This doesn't exist. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's going to do for that. I do want to try out what this grass is going to look like. So give me 1 sec here. Boom. A little bit of grass. That's good. And let's at least give it a try. All right. Boom. And we'll jump on down. I don't know what biome we're in, but we could do some sort of a natural kind of grassy path here. Just as a quick little example, I mean, grass with quartz does look really nice, and we could definitely jazz it up quite a bit. So I'm debating that. That could be good. I'm trying to think of what else kind of goes well with quartz. I mean, slime works really well too, but slime for a path is terrible. So, yeah, we don't really want to be doing that. Yeah, anyways, I got to think about this a little bit more. I wasn't really thinking that I'd even make the progress that I have made so far today. So, and we got a lot more of this brick to do as well, because all of this here is actually going to have brick detailing like this. And all of that brick detailing as well needs to be expanded upon with that going underneath those as well. So what do I mean by that? Simple. We're actually going to have this as the roof or ceiling in this area, as well as capping off all of the quartz at the end. So it's going to be kind of like that. And then we're also going to have some of that brick effect coming in to our walkways. So you get a little bit more depth and detail. And then up here, we're actually going to have water, I believe. I haven't officially decided, but I think I'm going to go with like some water or something like that up here. I also have not decided if I like this or if I prefer something like this, where I could go with stairs all the way around. It's a tough debate. It really is. It's just a matter of what I feel works. So the other thing, too, that we could do is, if I don't like the way that it looks on the outside, we could go on the inside like that as well. So anyways, a lot that I can play around with. So many design, specialities and specifications that we can go with on this thing. But I really like my tree. You know what? I'm really happy with it. It did good. I did good work with that right there. I might get rid of this block, though. It adds a little bit of character, though, doesn't it? It really does. Anyways, you guys, we'll chat about it. We'll chat about it for sure. Yeah, I'm going to put away a little bit of stuff here and get some things back to their basics as well. And, yeah, we'll reconvene. All right, so one last thing that I also wanted to do, even though we already have the 150 grand just from our infinite power up there, that's just been running. Oh boy, almost 4 million per coin. Whew. I don't know if we'll be able to keep up with our quadrillion bazillion power. but there's one last thing I wanted to do, and it's just another way to get a lot of coins in my thought process, in my head. So what I did is I set up a pulverizer here. I set up a magma crucible. Sorry about that. I just need to silence my phone here. There we go. Silent mode. Beautiful. So I set up a pulverizer into a magma crucible and into a task screen. So this is 100 buckets of liquefacted coal. Now, the cool thing about this is a repeatable quest, so it'll just keep going. So we can actually dump pretty much all of our coal continually into the system and get 20 to 70,000 per time that it completes. That's okay by my books, if you ask me. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw on our export bus from our system, and I'm just going to say export coal. The coal is going to pulverize. I got a nullification chamber, so it's actually going to destroy sulfur once it just, once it gets to 64, it'll keep going, but it'll destroy any of the excess, right? And then that pulverized coal is going into the magma crucible here, and it's turning into liquefacted coal. So all in due time here, and it's a lot of coal. Don't get me wrong, it absolutely is, but over time we'll just have more money again. And this is pretty repeatable because we basically just have chickens that are producing coal. And I'm kind of curious. I just want to monitor. Right now we are what? Plus 12, plus 11. It looks like it is going down slightly. Yes, it is. Well, is it? 368 times 64, 15, 14, 19. It looks like we're still going up. So even with that thing running nonstop, our chickens are outproducing the pulverizer that we have downstairs. Now, if I were to speed it up or things like that, we might run into problems. But for the most part, that's pretty good. That's pretty much going to just run while we're building things, etc., and get stuff done. The other thing, too, is I do have enough creosote. I could actually do a creosote one here as well, where we could just load coal into here and produce creosote oil as well. I have 335 buckets, or millibuckets, I should say, of that. So, yeah, we're pretty good. Pretty good overall. But we need a lot of this stuff. I think that's more than what I was saying before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 1,000 buckets worth, right? No. 1,000. I don't want to do math. Is that 100,000 buckets? Something like that. But either way, we can just kind of let this go. It's going to do its thing, and we don't really have to worry about it. We're still producing. We're still making more than what we're doing, etc. So we're good to go on that end. The only other thing, I'm not sure if I explained it. I did do a mechanical user to place a block in front of the tree fluid extractor to get ourselves the tiny rubber. I know we quickly glanced at it, but just wanted to kind of update you guys on exactly what I did there. So other than that, though, ladies and gents, I think that's going to be it for today. A little bit more of a building episode overall, but it's one that needed to get done. And I kind of showcased off that building guide and things like that. Let me know what you think on the path, what you think on the tree, what you think overall. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned. Next time, we got a lot more to do.